Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing our how-to video. So I've got a friend of mine who's got the new 2023 Ford Everest V6. He's got the Everest Sport, and he's bought himself some Clearview Next Gen mirrors. So these two guys were going over to this morning. They're not mechanics, and what we're going to do is, they are, you know, handy with the tools, but they're not mechanics, they're not qualified. So we're going to go over and we're going to see how easy these mirrors are to fit on the new Everest for people with just a little bit of technical knowledge. And we're going to film it. So stick with us, let's see how we go. Okay, so this is the car in question. So this is a 2023 Ford Everest V6 Sport. And what we've done on it already, so the original wheels that it comes with are 20s, which are really not practical for off-roading. So Peter's fitted a set of nice, I'm going to just get the camera around. These are ROH wheels, and these are in a 17. They're running 265 7017s, and these are the Kumo AT52s, which are actually a good all-terrain. They're good on the highway as well. I don't think this car's going to see a lot of heavy off-roading somehow. And the things that we're going to be changing, these standard mirrors, these are coming off, and the clear views will be going on. Let's have a look and see what we've got to go on it. I think it's got a few things to do as well. So we got these are the compacts, because these are going to suit this a bit better, not quite so big. So hopefully these come with good instructions, because these two guys, the guy on the right is Peter, that's his vehicle. And the guy on the left is the, he's going to be the mechanic for the day.
I just provided the shed, that's all.
Exactly. Scan gauge 3, should keep an eye on the transmission temperature. And I think, are you installing all of this today? So obviously the XRS GME, which is a nice radio. Not cheap. Okay, well, let's get this lot unboxed and see where we go. Okay, so these are the new mirrors. They're actually quite nice, aren't they?
Really nice.
Yeah, very nicely made. They've got the blind spot, the BLISS monitoring on the corner there. The little repeaters, which I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of these. I find them to be a little bit bright in your face, but you get used to them.
And that's the paddle light.
And the paddle light underneath, yeah. Very nice.
Right.
They do come with detailed instructions on how to actually fit them, which all colour, bit of work's gone into that. Just explains how to maintain the mirrors, obviously the different types, and then fitting instructions, just step-by-step guide. So what we got, how many steps? 11, 15, oh, it's a big one. 17 steps to doing the job. So we'll see how good they are. Okay, at this stage, I'm going to cut into this video and say it's always a good idea to read the instructions. These ones, to be exact. A lot of time and effort has gone into developing these instructions, and step 8 was quite vital, because in step 8 it tells you to remove the outside air temperature sensor from the left-hand door mirror. We didn't do that. So Peter's had the vehicle back and then realised that there's a fault code on it and it's not reading the outside temperature correctly. It's a new one on me anyway, that Ford have decided to put the air temperature sensor in the left-hand door mirror, because they always used to be at the front of the vehicle. But that said, It's not unusual. There are other manufacturers out there that do that. And just a thing for you that you might be interested in. If your vehicle has a DPF on it, a diesel particulate filter, a lot of these vehicles need to be reading the outside air temperature to regen them. So just bear that in mind. Can cause huge problems if you don't swap them across. Anyway, we're going to get this swapped across now. I don't think we've got to take the mirror off again. It's just a simple case of unclipping the old one and putting it in. I'll give you some light on that, Peter. There you go. So this is the bottom of the old mirror. And what we're trying to do is just gently ease back the cover to access the sensor which is underneath there.
Push it down or push it in? Go the other way, do it.
I reckon the way you're doing it's right. You got it? That's it. And this here, this is your outside air temperature sensor, which also clicks into that holder.
So I reckon that will pull out of there, won't it?
Yeah, you've got to push the tab in there.
In the top. That tab there.
Instructions are here. Show you, look. I'll show you using a screwdriver, that's it.
I'll get a little screwdriver.
It shows you just down the side of it, pushing in the pin.
Yeah, I've got a smaller screwdriver.
So this little tiny pin just here is what we need to
There you got it. Yes, badass.
yeah.
So how does that clip come off there?
Okay, so it looks like potentially, see this leg here? Oh, actually, look, it's quite loose. I would say that you push that in and push it inwards and it pops through the other side. Yeah, so push it in there and it flip through this side. There you go. Easy. And that is what it looks like. And this is what a muppet who doesn't read instructions looks like. Anyway,
one of three.
One of three, yeah, we're men. That's what men do. We don't need instructions. We can't follow GPS instructions either.
It's always a bit of
down here.
a worry, isn't it?
So we've extended the mirrors just to make life a little bit easier. And now what we've got to do is to get the bottom cover off. It probably would have been easier to have done it before we mounted it to the car, but hey. There we go. There you go, you got it.
Oh, we should have a little plug
in
in
here. There it is. Hey, there's the kitty.
There's the baby. So Put that there.
You got it?
Yeah. Just what way does it go?
Yeah,
Right?
only go one way anyway.
No, that's not the way.
That's
interesting. It goes on that way, I reckon. That's the tip there, and there's the hole. There it is.
no, it's not on far enough yet.
You reckon?
No, it goes all the way on, mate.
No, it won't go any further than that, Rich.
But it will, because see this rubber seal here?
You reckon we
That's
put...
to stop the water getting in. So it's not right if you haven't. If it won't go in, it's not right. Hang on a sec. I can see that's a slot.
So there's...
Okay.
Where's the slot?
Hold the camera.
There it is.
Like that.
There. Right.
So it only goes in one way, and obviously you need to make sure that it goes in all the way, so that the rubber silicone sleeve is compressed and gone. So where's your
There's the cap.
There you go. Let's go back to this then.
So this goes... that'll go, that was a little hole there. So that's got to go... That's good. There's a clip over there.
What I'd say, looking at that, let's have a look. Okay, it's pretty obvious if you just hold that. Keep it focus on here. So if you look at the, if you look at this, it's got two tabs there and one at the bottom, and this has two cutouts here and one at the bottom. So my guess is it's going through this way. It's going to go. Hang on. I don't know whether we should have come through this first. I think we should.
Put that in there first.
I think so. I think it goes through like that.
There you go.
That looks better, don't it?
Yeah.
And then we've just got to work out how this went.
Right, you've got it right there.
No, that's not right. Let's have a look. So, hang on. Sideways. Sideways will be that way. No, up 180 degrees the other way. It'll be that way. There we go. And then that's it.
That's it. Install.
She's there.
So we'll get the key.
Okay, so there she is. All installed as it should have been in the first place.
Hopefully it's very detailed.
I'm sure it will be.
Just got two left ones, Trev.
And that's the right, yep. There you go, all good, not broken. It's got the blind spot monitor built in as well. Okay, let's get stuck in. Okay, so the first stage, with anything where you're working on electric, especially on modern cars, where you've got CAN bus, is just to disconnect the battery. Otherwise it can throw all sorts of error codes that you could do without, to be honest. So first thing we're going to do, just disconnect the battery on it.
Yeah, okay.
Very tidy under the bonnet, aren't they? So whenever you're disconnecting the battery, always disconnect the earth terminal first. And the reason for that is if you do the live terminal first, the last thing you want to do when you're swinging a spanner, when the earth is still connected, is to short out to something like an air conditioning line over here or anything on the engine block, which could, first of all, it'll race the spanner up hot pretty quickly. But the second thing is you could actually put a hole in an air conditioning line very quickly because it's only alloy.
So we good. We got enough room around us here? Too late then.
Yeah, no, we're good. So the earth's disconnected. We can leave the live connected because the circuit's now broken. Okay, so the next stage, obviously make sure that the windows are down before you disconnect the battery, because you're going to need the windows down. So probably should have mentioned that to start with, shouldn't we? And then this plastic cover's got to come off, which is just a pull-off cover. So Peter's got a plastic trim removal kit, which are handy. They save scratching the paintwork of the car. And off it comes. Well, that was fairly straightforward and uneventful, wasn't it?
Let's see if it goes back on. Yes, it is.
So there'll be a couple of screws at the bottom of that door. So these are T15s, yeah? T20s. So the little torque spits. Alright, Muffin's come over to say hello. You're a pain in the bum. What's Mummy left you alone? Brought you along and then just doesn't want anything to do with you, does she? It would be easier, wouldn't it? Nice, didn't. So it's two Torx bits at the bottom of the door, and then behind these trims there'll be further screws holding the door on.
3 of retaining clips on the trim, so those little black dots. 1, 2. Yeah, there's a big one. Just because, well, you can't see.
I would say that's about, it's the same as this one, so it'll be about, yeah, probably a T30, 25 or a 30. This is the reason you have to take the whole door card off, is for this one little stubborn screw down the bottom here, that Ford in their infinite wisdom didn't just give you a little cutout here, and this plastic trim would overhang, then you'd be able to get to it.
You know why? Because this engineer, I've got to pop that out.
So you use your plastic tool, and it should
Just pry underneath it.
picture goes in from the top on the instructions.
Not the weak part, come to the edge.
I think that's popping down now, actually.
Use the plastic soft lever tool, insert the lever and remove the small trimmed cover behind and around the door handle.
There you go.
Bit of force.
There we go.
Nothing broken there.
So it's always a good idea to use a lever tool not on the thin part of the plastic, but on the thicker parts. It saves it cracking the plastic, but yeah.
Now there, Torx 20 head screws in there. There's 2 of them you've got to remove.
See there.
And just, on you carry on, Peter.
I'm going to Richard.
Okay, so there's 2. There's one here, and the other one's just here.
How's this for a bit of trivial information that nobody would have thought of? Retain screws for reattaching door trim. Well, there's a novel idea.
No?
Because we were just going to throw them in the bin, weren't we? They're off now.
Probably don't need them.
No, why would you want to keep them?
Yeah?
You know, somebody threw them out one.
So this, just here, will save you having to take all the electrics off.
You're only gonna,
There you go, yeah, it's only taking the weight of it, because you got it low enough now to get to that.
pull that out.
So
These all-
the point of the S-hook is you put the S-hook in and it's allowing the door card to hang. Just the only thing you need to get access to is this one screw here. Everything else is just the same. So all the doors still connected. We're just undoing this screw here and this one here, and that mirror will come off. Obviously disconnect the plug.
You do the plug first.
Yeah, you can do.
Take the plug out, you need a flat screwdriver.
Oh yeah, at the bottom. Do you want to just grab the wiring and just give that a little tug when I've got this compressed? There you go.
Look at that, I helped you.
Yep. So the bit that you're pushing in is this bit at the bottom of this plug. Just pushing that in and it just pulls straight out. Screwdriver back in there. Just use them. Nothing better.
We'll have some sound effects while we screw it.
It's all right, Richard. We
Pe-
know your sense of humour, Richard.
I'll be this side to hold the mirror, save it dropping off.
Put that bloody thing away, Darren.
Of course, I will laugh my arse off if he manages to round it off by hand.
That's why I do
Yeah,
it.
hold the mirror.
Obviously, make sure you've got someone supporting the mirror as you undo them,
Makes life easier. They do say that.
and they would have quite a residual value, I would anticipate, these mirrors. I should imagine these mirrors cost as much as the Clearviews.
If you want for spare parts, they will.
Does say, support the mirror during this operation.
Ah, there you go, you see?
But there's three, not two. The third one's in that hole where you took the plastic.
He's already taken that one out though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he'll take that one out too.
He's already done that, hasn't he?
Where's the other one?
Inside
In that rubber grommet, you already took that one out, didn't you?
Plastic.
Took that out first.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, so you're skipping ahead of the instructions there, Pete.
Oh, sorry. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, that's it.
Theoretically, the mirror should come off now.
All right, so we're ready to disassemble. So we give it a little wiggle. Something's holding it.
There it goes.
Oh,
It's got a little T in it.
What you got, the reason why it wouldn't come out, you see there's a little hook here, hooks up into this piece here, so you have to kind of lift the bottom and drop it to get it out.
Right, we can go home now.
There we go.
Just a...
Bit mucky there, mate, look at that. Brand new car. Okay, so the issue we've got is this little catch here has to go up into this notch. So, and these are actually alloy, not plastic. Okay. Yep.
Got it.
There's one. So you have to kind of tuck.
And push the mirror down a little bit.
Yep.
There's that.
So you have to kind of tuck the little notch under first, lift the mirror up to get the bottom in. You have to be careful because the backing on these mirrors is actually alloy, not plastic. So these are a good strong backing. And obviously you don't want to try and force it because it's obviously cast alloy and you'll either bend the door or break the backing if you try reefing it up and pulling it in with the screws.
There's the third one there.
I'll give you some light there.
This is how you make it look harder than it needs to be.
Oh, good job that's plastic.
Try in the middle, yeah, then work your way across.
That's it. Oh, look, he's in there like a boss now.
Break some blood.
There you go. And it's a twisting action. Blade in and then twist. And off it comes. Two in there.
Just put that there so I know where it is. That's all right there.
Looks pretty good to me. It's not actually dropped down yet.
Open your bonnet while you're there.
Now it's dropped down. There you go.
That should work, shouldn't it? What am I
Yeah.
doing
Got to unfold them, mate. They're folded in at the moment.
here? Yeah, I'm just trying to press which button I press.
The one that unfolds them.
Oh, which that one? Press all buttons.
The fold out one.
Oh, that's the door.
That top left. What's that? There you go.
No one working over there, does it?
No one's working. You can tell Pete's coming out of an old cruiser into a high-tech car. Can't you? Can't even open fold the mirrors out.
Can't even work out how the window's open. Where's the handle? Where's the handle?
That's the one.
Can't Pete to fold the mirrors out, he winds the window down first.
That's working.
So, there we go. All back together. Never know it's been apart. So pretty much, I mean, very simple job. Probably do both sides with an electric zippy gun. You probably get both sides done in 15-20 minutes. So all you've got just running through it. This plastic cover comes off first. This grommet comes out. Down to the bottom of the door. 2 screws at the bottom of the door. Pry off this cover. This cover you start, get your plastic trim tool in at the top, but then work it to the sides and give it a twist. We'll pop that off. 2 screws in here. Then you just pull your door card off. Support the door card with an S-clip at the top. Don't need to disconnect any of the wiring in the door. Undo the plug behind here, and then 3 screws, 1 in here, 1 here and 1 up in here. And then off comes your mirror. Simple as that. And there we go. Okay, so we've got the mirrors on. Pretty easy job, to be fair. Anyone with an ounce of technical ability will be able to do it. I would think this one doesn't have the all-round cameras in the mirrors, so this one is a little bit more simple than the top of the range, the Platinum that has, and the Wild Track that has the 360 camera, because with those models you do have to change the cameras over from the old mirrors to the new. So this one was a bit easier. Anyway, hopefully it's been of some use to you. If you're enjoying the content, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And any comments, please drop in the bottom and I'll get back to you. Cheers, see you next time.